Welcome to the Checkout Point, your quick dive into this week's e-commerce buzz with me, Alex, powered by Blicket. These 20 minutes pack the latest trends, news, and insights. Let's navigate the digital marketplace together. Ready? Let's go!
Hey folks, welcome back to The Checkout Point by Blicket.co, your quick hit podcast for all things e-commerce. I'm Max, coming to you slightly over-caffeinated as usual.
And I'm Rachel, hoping everyone's had a reflective Memorial Day and getting ready for Father's Day on the horizon. It's been quite the week, hasn't it?
Absolutely, Rachel. And speaking of weeks, we're hitting the ground running in week 22 of this wild e-commerce world. We've got a ton to unpack today.
Oh, and speaking of unpacking, I'm super excited that we just published that blog post about optimizing customer touchpoints in e-commerce, a real-world success story. I can't wait to dive into some of those details here on the podcast today.
Absolutely, I peeked at it and it's a goldmine. Perfect timing too, since our first segment today ties right into that. We're going to explore mastering those crucial customer touchpoints.
Then, we're set to discuss the cutting-edge world of AI in e-commerce. Imagine your online shopping assistant knows you better than you know yourself.
That's mildly terrifying, but incredibly fascinating. Oh, and you won't believe what's happening with Shopify's new AI tools.
Right. Plus, we'll talk about the underbelly of e-commerce like tariffs and postal strikes, and also why stepping into revenue loans might be akin to walking a tightrope in this economic circus.
Can't forget about maximizing those holiday sales. I mean, who wouldn't want to learn a few tricks from the big players like Amazon?
Definitely. And finally, we'll wrap up with a dive into digital advertising's brave new world. It's all about finding that sweet spot between automation and keeping it human.
Sounds like a full deck. Ready to get started?
Let's do it. Lead the way, Max.
Here comes your weekly dose of e-commerce know-how, right after this quick break. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Max here. So in today's segment, we're diving into something that really sparked a lot of discussion over on our blog at Blicket.co. It's about optimizing customer touchpoints in e-commerce, and it's wrapped up in a real-world success story that I think you're going to love.
Absolutely, Rachel here. And you know, Max, when I first read this post, the analogy of juggling flaming swords really stuck with me. Running an e-commerce brand these days is exactly that chaotic. And let's be honest, a bit scary sometimes.
Right? And every time you think you've got it all balanced, along comes another flaming sword. But that's why I love this post. It breaks down how important it is to really nail those customer touchpoints, which can make or break your business. One of the key points actually dives into the power of personalization.
Oh, personalization is huge. It's like when you walk into your favorite local cafe and the barista already knows you want a double shot, oat milk latte with just a dash of cinnamon. That feeling makes you want to come back, right?
Exactly. It's all about creating that personal connection. And in the blog, we talked about how one online store revamped their entire email marketing strategy to tailor it specifically to customer behaviors. They saw a crazy uplift in engagement just by making their communications feel a bit more one-to-one.
And speaking of email, another takeaway from the blog was about timing. Not just blasting your audience with emails, but choosing the right moments to connect. The post shared some great insights on using data to predict when customers are most likely to make a purchase or need support.
Timing is everything. And it's not just about pestering people with emails. It's about being there when they actually need you. That sort of proactive approach can really transform customer perception and loyalty. It's like catching that exact moment when someone needs another sword to juggle, right?
That's the perfect way to put it. And you know, beyond email, the blog also covered social media interactions. It's about making every touch point, from tweets to customer service chats, really count.
Right, and what I find so useful is that it's not just theoretical. The blog post talks about real strategies, tested by real brands with real outcomes. For anyone running an e-commerce site, it's stuffed with actionable advice.
So for our listeners, if you're finding yourself dodging those flaming swords, or even if you're just looking to refine your strategy, I'd say this post is a must-read. You can find it over at Blicket.co under the latest insights section, or just follow the link in our show notes.
Definitely give it a read and maybe even share your own experiences with us. How are you optimizing those touch points in your e-commerce journey? All right, that's all for this little teaser. Go check out that full story to get all the juicy details. So, Rachel, speaking of optimizing customer touchpoints, like we just discussed in that Blicket blog highlight, it seems like Google and Amazon are taking things to the next level with AI and e-commerce, huh?
Exactly, Max. It's super fascinating. Google is developing AI that acts like a personal shopping assistant. Imagine that, having a virtual buddy who knows exactly what you want before you even click.
That's seriously a game changer. But, how does it actually work? Are we talking about an AI that just bombards you with ads, or is it smarter?
It's definitely smarter, Max. From what I understand, the AI is designed to understand your preferences and shopping habits. So instead of getting random recommendations, it'll show you things you're more likely to buy. Like if you're a sneakerhead, it won't suggest you ballet shoes, you know?
Wait, so you're saying it could help me find the perfect baseball cap to add to my never-ending collection? Sign me up!
Exactly. And here's what I'm wondering, though. I'm not entirely convinced yet about the privacy aspect. Like, how much does this AI know about us?
Ah, the classic privacy versus convenience debate. It's like, do you want super tailored experiences or do you keep your likes and dislikes under wraps?
Yeah, it's a tough call. But shifting gears to our neighbor, Amazon, these guys are on a similar track, but they're integrating AI to improve search results and product suggestions even further.
Impressive. So, after I binge watch sci fi movies on Amazon Prime, it might start suggesting sci fi books and gadgets. Oh, because, looking at my celeb crush product recommendations isn't enough, right?
Ha, precisely. You might end up with a cart full of alien invasion survival kits.
Great, just what I needed to complement my zombie apocalypse gear. But jokes aside, this aligns super well with what we'll dive into next with Shopify. They're rolling out new AI tools to empower merchants.
That's interesting. It's kind of like each platform is beefing up its AI muscles to make sure both users and sellers get the most out of their experience.
Definitely, it's like all those tiny optimizations we talked about earlier are just pieces of this huge AI puzzle in e-commerce.
For sure, Max. And thinking about all these advancements, it's like every shopping experience is tailored just for you. Kind of like having a personal shopper in your pocket.
Imagine that during our middle school days would have saved me from some questionable fashion choices. Anyway, this tech is getting smarter and more integrated. It's a peek into the future of shopping. Super cool, but a bit sci-fi, huh?
Totally sci-fi, but very much our reality. I guess we'll have to keep our eyes on this and see how it all unfolds. After all, who knows what shopping will look like in 10 years' time?
Can't wait to see it. All right, I think that about wraps up our look at the giants of e-commerce turning AI into our shopaholic companions. Super interesting stuff, Rachel.
Absolutely, Max. Can't wait to see how all this tech will actually impact our day-to-day shopping habits.
So we were just diving into the latest AI innovations from Google and Amazon, right? But check this out. Shopify isn't staying behind in this tech race either. They've launched some super cool new AI tools specifically for merchants.
Oh, I was just reading about that. It seems like these tools could really change the game for small business owners who use Shopify. But I'm not entirely convinced yet. What's so different about these new tools?
Ah, the skeptical side of Rachel emerges. Well, here's the deal. Imagine you're running your own little shop online, right? These AI tools Shopify's rolling out apparently help automate tedious tasks like inventory management and even suggest personalized marketing strategies.
Wait, seriously? So if I were selling, let's say, handmade candles, Shopify's AI could potentially tell me, hey, maybe try marketing more of these lavender candles since they're selling like hotcakes?
Exactly. It's like having a super smart assistant that not only recognizes what sells well, but also helps you focus your energy on products that need more attention. Game changer for small business owners who are juggling, well, just about everything.
I see your point, but how user-friendly are these tools? Because honestly, if it's as complicated as trying to assemble a piece of furniture with a cryptic manual, that's a no from me.
Good question. And honestly, I think Shopify knows better than to hand over a puzzle box. Everything I've read suggests they're designed to be pretty straightforward, so even non-techie folks can feel like a tech wizard.
That's reassuring. And it kind of ties back into our discussion on Google and Amazon's new AI shopping features, doesn't it? All these platforms are trying to make tech more accessible, not just fancy, but also really useful.
Right? And speaking of tech and international markets, that's a smooth segue into our next segment on tariffs and how international e-commerce issues, like a postal strike, are a hurdle for eBay sellers.
Oh, intriguing. But before we dive into that, I just have to ask, Do you think small businesses on platforms like Shopify are insulated from those big international dramas? Or does it all kind of ripple through?
Another excellent point. I think while tools like these AI integrations offer some buffer by optimizing operations, external factors like tariffs can still throw a wrench into the works. It's like you can have the sleekest boat, but if the sea is rough, you'll feel it.
That analogy. All right, Captain Max, but yes, you're making a solid point. Even with the smartest tools, you have to watch the weather. Market conditions, that is.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, let's set sail from Shopify's smart AI shores and navigate the choppy waters of international e-commerce issues next. What do you say?
Let's do it. After all, it's always an adventure with you, Max. Lead the way.
Anchors away. Hey, Rachel, after chatting about Shopify's new AI tools just now, it seems like e-commerce is a breeze, right? But check this out. There's a whole other side to this.
Oh, what's on your mind, Max?
So I was reading up on how tariffs and even postal strikes are seriously messing with eBay sellers. It's like 1 minute you're selling collectibles to someone across the globe, and the next you're hitting a wall of extra costs and delays.
Wait, seriously? That does sound super frustrating. It's kind of like playing a video game and suddenly hitting an unexpected level boss. But in real life, these aren't fun challenges. They're real hurdles for small businesses.
Exactly. And it's not just annoying. Some sellers describe the tariffs as appalling and hard to deal with. Imagine planning your expenses and suddenly, bam, extra fees out of nowhere.
That's really tough. But here's what I'm wondering. How do these tariffs even work? Like, I know they're taxes on imports, but why are they hitting small businesses so hard?
Great question. So, essentially, governments slap these taxes on goods coming from abroad to, theoretically, protect local industries. But instead of hurting giant corporations, it's the small sellers on platforms like eBay who feel the pinch.
I see your point, but don't these measures have any upsides for, say, local businesses?
They might in some cases, but, for small-scale online sellers who source unique items from overseas or depend on international sales, it's more of a blockade than a boon.
What a dilemma. Oh, and think about the timing. With Father's Day coming up, these disruptions must be hitting those special gift sales too. I mean, I was planning to snag something quirky and imported for Pops on eBay.
No way, I didn't even think about that. It really puts a damper on these holiday shopping plans, especially since we just wrapped up Memorial Day with all its sales and promotions.
Right? And speaking of which, in our next segment, we're diving into another financial pickle, revenue loans. But tying it back to these tariffs, it sounds like small sellers might be looking at such fast cash solutions even more now.
Good point. It's like, if you're slammed by unexpected costs, quick loans might seem like a rescue. But as we'll see, they come at a price too.
It definitely makes you appreciate the smoother sailing we talked about with Shopify earlier. It's wild how interconnected all these issues are, isn't it?
Totally. It's all part of the wild world of e-commerce. Balancing the tech advancements with these age-old trade issues sure keeps things interesting.
Absolutely, Max. It never hurts to keep an eye out on the bigger picture while also getting ready for those bumps on the road.
Couldn't have said it better, Rachel. It really shows you've got to stay agile in these digital marketplaces. So, switching gears from our chat on tariffs and postal strikes, a real headache for eBay sellers, huh?
Seriously. And speaking of financial headaches, I was just thinking about this piece I read on revenue loans. It sounds like quick cash, but there's a catch. It could be a bit like jumping from the frying pan into the fire for some businesses.
Right? The old adage of fast cash at a price never rings truer. Revenue loans let businesses borrow against future sales, which sounds super cool until you realize you're basically selling tomorrow's money at a discount. It's like, yay, money now. Oh, wait, this is going to cost me.
Exactly. And that's a crucial point, especially for small convenience stores, C stores, that already operate on razor-thin margins. Remember, they're struggling with similar challenges we mentioned earlier, like staying competitive amidst all these tariffs and market shifts.
Oh, totally. And it's like, if you're a small C store, every penny counts. Borrowing against future sales might solve one problem today, but can create a bigger one tomorrow.
I'm not entirely convinced it's all doom and gloom, though. I mean, for some of these stores, a revenue loan might be their best shot at navigating tough times, right? It's about weighing that immediate need against future costs.
That's a fair point, Rachel. And remember, it's kind of like the story of the tortoise and the hare. Slow and steady might win the race, or in this case, careful planning and not rushing into flashy financial shortcuts.
But here's what I'm wondering. Is there a better way? Maybe like brushing up on financial literacy or exploring new technologies that help manage finances without the hefty price tag.
Speaking of tech, isn't our next segment on Amazon using tech tricks to boost efficiency? I guess it's all about smarter, not harder, huh?
You nailed it. And tying it back to small C stores, they could totally benefit from some of these efficiency boosters. Imagine streamlining inventory with smart apps or boosting online sales channels to offset physical store challenges.
There's an app for that, right? But honestly, it's a game changer thinking about these tech tools, not just as big retailer perks, but as lifelines for the little guys.
Totally. And it's all about that adaptability. Whether you're battling international tariffs, navigating quick cash solutions with revenue loans, or leveraging tech to stay afloat.
It makes the business world feel a bit like a giant puzzle, and each piece, whether it's financial solutions or tech enhancements, has to fit just right to complete the bigger picture.
Oh, well put, Max. It's about finding that balance and not losing sight of the forest for the trees. Or should I say, not missing the cash flow for the loans.
Always with the puns, Rachel. But that's a wrap on this bit. Stick around, folks. We're diving into those tech tricks next. So, jumping right in from our last chat about those quick cash solutions in e-commerce, it's interesting to see how big players like Amazon handle peak shopping days. They've got a new trick up their sleeve for Memorial Day, aiming to ramp up visits to their outlet section.
Oh, interesting switch there, from needing fast cash to figuring out smart ways to drive sales. Tell me more about this outlet strategy.
Right, check this out. Amazon is basically using Memorial Day, which we know is a super busy shopping holiday, to pull more customers into their outlet area. It's like their super cool method of clearing out inventory without just tossing huge discounts on the main page. Kind of like that back section in a retail store where all the great deals hide.
That reminds me of digging through sales bins as a kid. But here's what I'm wondering. Isn't it risky to divert traffic from their main offerings?
You'd think so, right? But consider this. It's like hitting two birds with one stone. They clear out inventory, making room for new stuff. Plus, they actually hook the bargain hunters.
Exactly. And that kind of strategy could be a game changer for smaller e-commerce folks. Imagine using your version of a special sales section during holidays to boost interest and clear space.
Speaking of boosting, that ties nicely into monetization through advertising, which we're touching on next. Like, if you can push traffic to specific parts of your site during key times, that's valuable real estate for ads too.
Right. You mentioned Amazon Outlet, and now I'm picturing those smaller e-commerce businesses maybe not having a YouTube channel, but using their site's traffic spikes as ad space. Smart move.
Definitely. And talking about using what you have, it reminds me of those hidden gems buried under less flashy products in stores. Sometimes you find that one superstar item in the outlet that you wouldn't see up front.
Oh, totally. It's like a treasure hunt, honestly. But then, I'm not entirely convinced every brand could pull this off like Amazon does, given their massive scale.
True, but even on a smaller scale, if you can create that buzz around a special section, even if it's just for certain holidays or events, you might just see a spike in both sales and visitor engagement. It's all about creating that excitement and that exclusive feel, right?
Exactly. And it's not like you always need a big event. It could just be a seasonal thing or even aligning with minor holidays. Honestly, the possibilities are endless if you play it smart.
Clever strategy indeed. By focusing not just on the what, but the when and where of selling, you can really optimize those e-commerce efforts.
Totally. It's about being strategic with your resources. And hey, what a cool way to link back to our chat about financial solutions and the upcoming convo on ad monetization and e-commerce. It all circles back to being smart and strategic with what you've got.
Couldn't agree more. And I think that's the real takeaway here. Whether you're a giant like Amazon or just starting out, how you manage your resources and strategize your sales techniques can set the stage for your success. All right, so we just talked about how Amazon's gearing up for a big traffic boost to its outlet this Memorial Day. And it got me thinking, Rachel, how do other platforms make sure they're catching people's eye? I mean, YouTube is a giant in this game, right?
Oh, absolutely, Max. Speaking of catching eyes, have you heard about those new YouTube ad secrets for e-commerce? It's super interesting how they're tapping into the way we actually watch videos to craft better ads.
Right? It's like just when you think YouTube ads are all figured out, boom, they come up with new tricks. I was reading about it, and honestly, it's all about getting the right product in front of the right eyes at the perfect moment. Super cool, isn't it?
It is cool, but that reminds me of Google's new AI tools. They're designed to speed up ad creation and make them more powerful, but I'm not entirely convinced yet. Like, with AI doing so much of the legwork, do advertisers lose a bit of control over the creative process?
Good point. There's this balancing act, right? Faster and potentially more effective ads are tempting, but at what cost? It's like, do you want a robot picking your playlist, or do you want to groove to your own beat?
Exactly, Max. And it invites the question, how much AI is too much AI? I mean, I love a quick, snappy tool that can make life easier, but still want to make sure the human touch isn't lost. It's the soul in the machine, right?
Check this out, though. While we're on the topic of automation, remember how effective Amazon has been by using its algorithms to maximize their Memorial Day sales? Seems like there's a way to make these tools work for you without overshadowing the human aspect.
That's such a good point. And when you look at YouTube's strategies, they're also harnessing AI, but they're keeping the advertisers' intentions in focus. It's kind of a lesson in using powerful tools without letting them take over the whole workshop.
Got to balance those scales. Honestly, for all the e-commerce folks listening, it's about using these AI tools to enhance your strategy, not replace it. Imagine pairing AI's quick analysis with your own unique brand voice.
I love that idea. It's like having a supercharged assistant who's there to help, but not take over the show. But I'm still a bit wary. I want to see how these tools evolve before fully jumping on the bandwagon.
Fair enough, Rachel. Fair indeed. It's definitely a space to watch. For those dabbling in e-commerce, keeping an eye on how platforms like YouTube and tools like Google's AI develop could give you a nice edge.
But hey, remember, it's all about that blend of technology and personal touch. Oh, and speaking of personal touch, I'm eager to jump into our next segment about customer engagement. But for now, those new ad tools.
Game changer or not, we'll just have to wait and see, huh?
Exactly, Max. Keep watching and learning, folks.
Well, folks, that wraps up this week's whirlwind of e-commerce highlights. Thanks for hanging out with us for week 22. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, especially all about AI turning into our shopping pals.
Absolutely. And speaking of pals, I can't get over how e-commerce is like juggling flaming swords. It's a tricky business, but oh so thrilling. Thanks for spending time with us today, diving into everything from Shopify's new tools to those surprising postal strikes.
And hey, with Father's Day on the horizon and just coming off Memorial Day, it's been quite the festive week, hasn't it? Perfect time to think about using some of those big player strategies for holiday sales. And if you're trying to navigate through e-commerce hurdles or just looking for a laugh, remember?
Yes, Max's terrible jokes are always on the menu. But in all seriousness, it's intriguing to consider the balance AI brings between convenience and privacy. Makes you wonder where we're heading next in the world of online shopping.
Right? Like, are we going toward a future where our fridges do the food shopping? But listeners, if you enjoyed today's episode, we'd genuinely love it if you joined us again next week. We'll dive even deeper into the ever-evolving world of e-commerce, and yes, you guessed it, more of my terrible jokes.
And don't forget, if you're digging for more resources or just want to keep the conversation going, swing by blicket.co. We've got loads of insights and tips there to help boost your online business or even just satisfy your curiosity.
So until next week, keep those shopping carts rolling and those strategy gears turning. We'll catch you on the flip side.
Take care, everyone. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and thanks again for joining us at the checkout point. Bye now.
See you later, alligator.